Hi friends, my name is Nandita. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Children, now let us discuss the useful of microorganisms. As we discussed that microorganisms are also useful in the following ways, such as in food and beverage industries, in making medicines and vaccines, in agriculture and cleaning method. Now let us discuss the making of bread and curd, how these microorganisms will be useful. Children, you have learnt in class 7 that milk is turned into curd by the bacteria. The curd contains several microorganisms. Of this, the bacterium Lactobacillus promotes the formation of curd. It multiplies in milk and converts it into curd. Bacteria are also involved in the making of cheese, pickles, and many other food items. An important ingredient of rava, idlis, cakes, and bhatras is curd. Can you guess why? Bacteria and yeast are also helpful for fermentation of rice, idlis, and dosha better. Many fungi like mushrooms and morels are edible, which are rich. Yeast is also used in breweries for making wines and process of fermentation. Children, now let us discuss the commercial uses of microorganisms. Microorganisms are used for the large scale production of alcohol, wine, and acetic acid like vinegar. Yeast is used for the commercial production of alcohol and wine. For this purpose, yeast is grown on natural sugar present in grains like barley, white rice, crushed fruit juices, etc. Take a 500 ml of beaker, children, filled up with 3 by 4th of water. Dissolve 2-3 spoons of sugar in it and add a half spoon of yeast powder to the sugar solution. Keep it covered in a warm place for 4 to 5 hours. Now smell the solution. You can get a smell. This is smell too of alcohol as sugar has been converted into alcohol by yeast. This process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation, and Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation in 1857. Children, now let us discuss the medicinal usage of microorganisms. Whenever you fall ill, the doctor may give you some antibiotic tablets, isn't it? Maybe in the form of capsules or injections, such as a penicillin also. The source of these medicines is microorganisms. These medicines kill or stop the growth of diseases causing microorganisms. Such medicines are called antibiotics. Their uses as number of antibiotics are being produced from bacteria and fungi. Streptomycin, tetraclinine, and erythromycin are some of the common known antibiotics which are made up of fungi and bacteria. The antibiotics are manufactured by growing specific microorganisms and are also used to cure a variety of diseases. Antibiotics are even mixed with the feed of livestock and poultry to check microbial infections in animals. They are also used to control many plant diseases. Children, germs are all around us, both in environment and in our bodies. When a person is susceptible and they encounter a harmful organism, it can be lead to diseases and death. The body has many ways of defending itself against the pathogens such as skin, mucus, and cilia. All works as physical barriers to prevent pathogens from entering the body in the first place. When a pathogen does not infect the body, our body defense called the immune system are triggered and the pathogen is attacked and the destroy or overcome. Children, now let us discuss how to cure these diseases. Children, why are the infants or children are given by vaccination? Let us discuss. When a disease carrying microbe enters our body, the body produces antibodies to fight the invader. The body also remembers how to fight the microbe if it enters again. If dead or weakened microbes are introduced into a healthy body. The body fights and kills the invading bacteria by producing suitable antibodies. The antibodies remain in the body and we are protected from the diseases causing microbes forever. This is how a vaccine works. Several diseases including cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox and hepatitis can be prevented by vaccination. In your childhood, you must have been given injections to protect yourself against several diseases. Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine for the smallpox in 1798. It is important to remember that the antibiotic should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. Also, you must complete the course prescribed by the doctor. If you take antibiotics when not needed or in a wrong dose, it may make us the drug less effective when you may need it in future. Also, antibiotics taken unnecessarily may kill the beneficial bacteria in the body. Antibiotics, however, are not effective against cold and flu as these are caused by the virus. Children, now let us discuss how vaccines can help to our body. Children, vaccines contain weakened or inactive parts of the particular organisms that triggers an immune responses within the body. Newer vaccines contain the blueprint for producing antigens rather than the antigen itself. Regardless of whether the vaccine is made up of the antigen itself or the blueprint, so that the body will produce the antigen, this weakened version will not cause the disease in the person receiving the vaccine, but it will promote their immune system to respond much as it would have on its first reaction to the actual pathogen. Some vaccines require multiple doses given weeks or months apart. This is sometimes needed to allow for the production of a long-lived antibodies and develop of memory cells. In this way, the body is trained to fight the specific diseases causing organisms, building up memory of the pathogen so as to rapidly fight it if and when exposed in the future. Children, now let us discuss what is the herd immunity imperative. Vaccines does not just work on an individual level, they protect entire populations. Once enough people are immunized, opportunities for an outbreak of diseases become so low even people who aren't immunized benefit. Essentially, a bacterial or virus simply won't have enough eligible hosts to establish a foothold and will eventually die out entirely. This phenomena is called as herd immunity or community immunity, and it has allowed once devastating diseases to be eliminated entirely without needing to vaccinate every individual. Children, now let us discuss about vaccines and our immune systems. Children, already we discussed that vaccines give our immunity to a disease without getting risk first. They are made using killed or weakened versions of disease causing germs or part of the germs called antigens. For some vaccines, antigenetic engineering is used to make the antigens used in the vaccine. It's much safer to get a vaccine than to get the disease it prevents. When you get a vaccine, your immune system responds to the vaccine the same way it would be the real germ. It recognizes the germs in the vaccine as being foreign and responds by making antibodies to the germs in the vaccine. It just as it would for the real germ. Remember the germs and how it to destroy it. That's why if you are ever exposed to the disease causing germs in the future, your immune system will be able to quickly destroy it before it has a chance to make you sick. This is how you get immunity from vaccines. Children, in 1929, Alexander Fleming was working on a culture of disease causing bacteria. Suddenly, he found the pores of a little green mold in one of his culture plates. He observed that the presence of mold prevent the growth of bacteria. In fact, it also killed many of these bacteria. From this mold, penicillin was prepared. It is important to remember that the antibiotics should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. Children, now can you prepare a list of these diseases? Yes, you may take help from your parents. It is essential to protect all the children against the diseases. Necessary vaccines are available in nearby the hospitals. You might have seen the advertisements on TV and newspapers regarding the protection of the children against polio under the Pulse Polio program. Polio drops given to the children are actually a vaccine. A worldwide campaign against the smallpox has finally led its eradication from most parts of the world. These days, vaccines are made on a large scale from microorganisms to protect humans and other animals from several diseases. Bacteria and yeast are used in making vitamin B complex tablets. The human hormonal caused insulin can also be obtained from bacteria. Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine from smallpox in 1798. Children, now let us discuss the increasing soil fertility by bacteria. Some bacteria are able to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere to enrich soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. These microbes are commonly called biological nitrogen fixers. The biological nitrogen fixation (BNF) is termed as the process in which nitrogen gas N2 from the atmosphere is incorporated into the tissues of certain plants. Only a selected group of plants is able to obtain N this way with the help of soil microorganisms. Let us discuss the presence of microorganisms in agriculture. Some bacteria like Rhizobium, blue-green algae like Nostoc live in the root of nodules of plants such as gram and pea, etc. This bacteria absorbs the nitrogen of the atmosphere and convert it into nitrates, which serves as natural fertilizers for plants, hence enhancing soil fertility. Now let us see how these microbes clean the environment. Microbes helps to keep environment clean by decomposing dead matter. The decomposed substance are recycled as these get reused from the soil by plants. You often see a large amount of dead organic matter in the form of decaying plants and sometimes dead animals on the ground. You find that they disappear after some time. This is because the microorganisms decompose dead organic waste of plants and animals, converting them into simple substance. These substances are again used by other plants and animals. Thus, the microorganisms can be used to degrade the harmful and smelly substance and thereby clean up the environment. Some bacteria decompose sewage and others waste in water. This is in nature's method of keeping the environment free from pollution.